So I understand that we are going through a lot right now, and now is not the time for your discernment to be turned off, and it's not the time for your discernment to be under the radar. If anything, your discernment should be going up.
Track Adventures.
Hey y'all, happy Homegirl Thursday. It's your girl Marie, the Spiritual Homegirl. And if you are familiar with Spiritual Homegirl, you know that I either do a podcast episode on the Spiritual Homegirl podcast, where you can find anywhere you listen to podcasts, or I do a YouTube video on Spiritual Homegirl's YouTube channel. So I want to do this video about discernment and how this time of crisis that we're in, we can debate it all day. I'm not going to, but we could collectively debate about why it's here, how bad it really is, things of that nature. But there's no denying that this is the state that we're in as a society. And with that being said, there are going to be people that are going to show you traits that you didn't expect that they had, because desperate times call for desperate measures in some people. Now, I understand things are a choice, and to a degree, some people are taught that stepping on others and taking from other people and kind of trading in your morals and scruples and integrity. Some people are taught that that's the way to get ahead. Some people know better and still do it anyway, whatever the cause is. I'm just reminding y'all as the homegirl, because I would not be the homegirl if I didn't try to put y'all on game, to just remember to see people for who they are in this time. I know that does not sound empathetic. It's unfortunate, I know. But unfortunately, I can hold space for somebody doing something negative to another for the times of survival. I can hold space and see that. I can respect that for what it is. I may not agree, but I can respect that that is what that person decided to show. And I can also hold space and say, you know what, I don't have to. I can understand why a person would do that, but that doesn't fit in line with my code, and I don't have to do that. And I don't have to fool nobody that does that either. So I am learning to hold space for multiple things. I can hold this and acknowledge this, and I can also acknowledge this and be like, you know what, I don't align with that. And I can make moves accordingly. The reason why I'm doing this story is because today one of my partners told me she went to a supermarket to get toilet paper. Her and the elderly woman came up to the toilet paper section at the same time. It was empty. The elderly lady said, oh, don't tell me you said the last of the toilet paper. The homegirl said, nah, but if I did, I would have given it to you, because that's how we get around here. We respect elders around here. So they going about their business. You know, there's no toilet paper, so they going about their business in the store. They run back into each other. The elderly lady has 2 bags of toilet paper. My homegirl's like, there was no toilet paper here. It's not restocked. What happened? So the elderly lady says, oh, I paid the young man $10 and got my rolls. So my homegirl is pissed, because here we are in a midst of a crisis, and a lot of resources are already scarce or are being rationed out or limited, you know, by certain quantities. And here there is no toilet paper in the store, but yet the elderly woman had to pay in order to get the toilet paper. I know you can talk about, oh, there's capitalism. We not own that right now. We already know capitalism is flawed. We're talking about moral compass here. And when it comes to capitalist society, I have seen people be successful and still maintain their scruples. They may not be billionaires, because, you know, once you become a billionaire, it takes a level of stepping on somebody, whether it's withholding certain pay or resources or whatever to get. That's another story. But I've seen people be successful without having to trade in their morals and their scruples and their integrity, or be disrespectful to others, or withhold wages and fair treatment from others in order to be, you know, successful. I haven't seen that firsthand by people I know, because the people I know that are successful, they don't move like that. So my homegirl ain't feeling it. She goes straight to the back, push through the doors, and she's like, I need some toilet paper, bro. And the dude is like, we don't have none. She's like, I know you got some. Like, I seen it. I know you got some. So the dude gives her toilet paper, and my homegirl tells him, and get that elderly woman her money back too. And he get the money back. So that just lets me know that in desperate times, there will be desperate measures, and people are going to go against what they've been taught is what's right, or may resort to what they know. Some people may not be taught that you don't do stuff like that. So again, holding space for that, as well as holding space for those that know better but ain't trying to do better right now. I'm also telling y'all to, when y'all see those things happen, to move accordingly. Some of y'all can move people that do stuff like that. And if that's your deal, cool. But if it happens to you because desperate times gonna call for desperate measures, and people gonna start getting out of character, they may get out of character with other folks. But at some point, you got to figure out if you're above that criteria of people that they doing this to. Like, are you 100% sure they won't do that to you? So I'm just telling everybody to please discern who is around and how they are acting right now. I have been in situations myself, like I said, where people had tried to get over and take advantage, not because I did anything to them, but because they were in desperate times. Like, and I can see that, and I don't have to have no argument. I'm not saying y'all need to have arguments with these people and get at them and things like that. Sometimes it ain't worth going to war over. It ain't worth arguing, battling. It ain't even worth telling them that you've seen it. You know that this is how this person acts when they funds are low, or this is how they acts when they're desperate, or when something like this is how they get down. And low key, I'm not gonna sit there and say some people say, oh, that's their core. I'm pretty sure that people would not feel. Some people may not like getting over on people, but they rationalize it by saying, well, I gotta do what I gotta do. So I'm not gonna go into that part of that argument because it's a multi-layered discussion. But what I am saying though, the bottom line is when you see that behavior, you don't gotta go to war, you don't gotta fight with folks. What you can do is control how you see people, or what you do after you see people trade in their solidness for, in this case, a roll of toilet paper. In other ways, it may be money or opportunities or things like that. When there's a threat to someone else's success, ego, pride, whatever, they will do what they need to do to preserve that, to stay comfortable, or to just stay afloat. You may be a casualty of that, or even if you didn't mean to be, you may be collateral damage. It happens. I've been there. I'm pretty sure a lot of you can relate to times when somebody threw you under the bus to save their own hide when that may not even be necessary. But the thing about lack mindset is when it is so extreme in here, you could be an ally, but folks will think you're an enemy because they only thinking about their own survival. And I just want people to remember, when you get thrown under that bus, you have the right to determine whether that person is worth being in your space the way they used to be. Yeah, I know we try to give people the benefit of the doubt, and things do happen. But I know personally speaking, I'm not saying you got to follow my ideology because you're going to figure out what works best for you. You screw me under or over the bus once, and you throw me out there to the wolves once, or you try to get over on me once, we good. Forever. I can give you the benefit of the doubt and say, yo, I see how you did that, and you did what you had to do that was best for you, but I don't have to ever put myself in the same energy, spirit, or space, or room, or nothing with you ever again. I'm okay with that. Because again, desperate times and certain people will call for desperate measures. You cannot expect people to be solid like you. You cannot expect people to be 100 and not screw people over like you. Just remember, people are going to show you who they are. And you have no choice at this point but to assess people for what they show you and move from there. Now is definitely the time to build your intuition if you have not decided to build it up. There's so many ways to build it. I'm not going to be the person that's saying, oh, this is how you do it, because everybody's telling you how to do it, but that's how they do it. So you're going to figure out what works for you. But what I will say from my personal experience is that feeling here, this weight or this feels right. Weight or this feels right. Those are pretty much the two feelings that I feel when it comes to, and this is gut feelings, right? Gut feelings. But the ajna is here, intuition. But they always say, that little voice, listen to that voice. And for me, it's either two things. It's either wait, this ain't right, and now either pause or just disconnect or disassociate completely, or it's yes, let's do it. So just remember that little feeling that you have, kind of sit with that and kind of figure out what is this, and start listening to it and seeing if it works for you. Sometimes we'll have that voice and our mind will just say, oh, well, this logically speaking makes sense. And then something will happen, and though we thought that was the right thing, we realized that wasn't a good fit. And we're like, dang, I remember I ignored that voice that told me to pause for a minute. And now, things happen unfavorably. So that's all I really want to say. So bottom line, watch how people are acting right now. See who is selling their soul, their morals, their integrity, their scruples. Remember that it ain't really for you to judge, because you don't know what that person has gone through to make them be that kind of person. But what you can do is you can only control what goes on from your hand from there. So you can see people for how they are, but you can also control whether you're gonna keep them around. So yeah, that's it, y'all. Don't forget, y'all, that it goes out every Monday. Like, comment, subscribe, and share if you care, y'all.